Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. Well, today is the day. I have decided today's the day that we're going to clean this bad boy up. You may remember this. This is that perfect handle wrench, an actual HD Smith, and it says perfect handle right here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera really well. It's pretty roached out though. Here's the problem. The problem is that when we look at it, man, you see how deeply pitted that is all the way around, even on this side, and then on this side especially, you can tell how deep that is. My goodness, the handles cracked out. They're all shrunk up, as you can see here, and so that's no fun that way. It's just in bad condition. I mean, I'm grateful to have it. There's no doubt about that. So I love that. But the very fact that it's just so bad. So the question is, do I grind it all the way down and just try to give it a brand new finish? The problem when I think about that is that you might notice right here, especially right in this area, by the time I grind that down, and I don't think I could ever probably illustrate that on the camera, but this part, there's a little bit of a raised edge right there. By the time I do that, it would take that away. It would take away that aspect. Maybe you can see a little bit better. Yeah, you can see that line right here. You can see that better there. And so we would lose that all together. And then you can see, it looks like, I kind of think of them as owner's marks right here. And so when you look at that part, then what I'm seeing is, my goodness, by the time they're so deep, by the time I do that, I would lose half of this thickness on just that side. And that means that I would have to try to match it up on this side. I just don't know. Anyways, think about that for just a moment, and then we're gonna go through and look. I was looking through my stuff and I was thinking, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put that with this screwdriver. And I remember a long time ago it said perfect, and I thought it was a perfect handle, but I don't think it is. This one's made by BG, I believe. It says perfect. It looks like a perfect handle. It's a little more flat though. Beautiful, beautiful screwdriver though. Love that. But anyways, that's really not one. But here's what I did find. And so check this out. Check out this wrench. And so let's see if I can get a close up on that. Naming there. This one is an actual HD Smith and Company perfect handle little monkey wrench here, I think is what they call them. And so I haven't done anything to it. I just got it, and it's a beautiful piece. It works really well. So there's that. I have that one in the collection. I also have a different kind of like a little pipe wrench here. And so as you can see, it has that metal that goes all the way through the wooden handle. And I haven't cleaned this up, but I think we can probably read it there. Let's see. It says perfect handle on there as well. So I do have a couple of perfect handle pieces. I just never had the actual wrench that I had never seen one in person. And so I was just stoked, no matter what condition, you know, you never have one, you're just happy to get one. So what do we do about it? I don't know. Think about it for just a moment. Let's progress through the video. Let's see if we can punch out these pins right here and see if we can kind of save the handle so we can get some kind of replica made. And then the handle. I remember, I forget who it was. Maybe it was Rusty Dave or something like that. Said some walnut handles. Well, I kind of have a thought on some walnut, some other kinds of woods. Let's just kind of play a little bit. Let's just see. No doubt walnut would just be rich as all get out. And so let's go through and play. All right, let's get the camera turned around, see if we can punch these bad boys out and see if we can soak this in some evaporust. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm here at my leg vise, and we're going to go through and try to open this bad boy up without bumping the camera apparently. And so the reason why we want to open it up is because I'm going to put my little soft jaws in here just to kind of make sure I don't mar it up any more than I already have it marred up because some crazy guy left it out in the weather. So let's see what we can do to kind of put this in here and squeeze it together, and while we go through and try to get this bad boy out. So see if I can get that tight in there enough. And then the nice thing about these little soft jaws, if you guys don't have those, my goodness, it can preserve whatever it is that you're working on. So, and you can, they're magnetic, and so you can slide them on, slide them off. All right, let me go get a punch and a hammer, and let's see what we can do. Be right back. Okay, I am back. I got a couple different sizes of punches here. This one seems like it's the closest in size, so that might work. Let's see, first of all, this one is a little bit smaller, which is going to kind of allow it to push down just a little bit. So let's try this one first, all right? Let's see what we can do here. So I got my little dead blow hammer. Kind of starting off kind of slow. That's kind of pushing through the wood, so that part is good. And that one's pushing through. All right, and so I can feel at least one of them coming through here, but the wood, let's just see if we can get that out yet. Not yet. Let me work on this one a little bit more. I felt it go through. Let's see if that was enough to let this loose, and voila. All right, and this is what I was trying to do here, incidentally. I was trying to preserve it so I can get some kind of profile here, and also we can see it's flat, and then maybe a little bit of a taper right at this end here. This is what I was wanting to do, is kind of preserve that. All right, so we have that there, so I'm going to set that aside. You can tell, my goodness, look at that rust that's in there. Ugh, drives me nuts. Okay, and so you can also tell the pins are driving through. Perfect, we love that. We don't want to let go of those, so we're gonna try to go through and punch them through. We don't want to lose them. Let's just take it easy here. It's going through real easy. All right, it's kind of coming in crooked a little bit, it seems like. So let's just see here. Because this last part is going to go, and that's what's going to retain it. So let's go through and let's work on this one for just a moment here. So that one came through the handle. I could feel the handle kind of hanging down. So let's just see. I'm going to put my finger underneath it here. All right, I think I got it. I think I got it. All right. That handle disintegrated on me. The bottom of the handle, of course, we knew that one, right? And so, and you can tell these pins, they're kind of crooked. I don't know if we can straighten it up and keep the original metal or not, but at least we saved one handle, so that way we can kind of get a profile. But this is how bad it is here. Okay, so let's go through and relieve the pressure here. And let's evaluate this a little bit. So as you can see, this is what we have to work with here. And so we're going to want to go through and try to get this better off in a better condition. So we're going to wire wheel it first and just try to get some of this rust off. And then we're going to dip it in the evaporest. So that way we can make our evaporest go longer, okay? All right, so let's go through and wire wheel some of this off. Now, one of the things that I do is I turn on my my dust collector. And so that's going to be pretty important. And the reason why that is because you don't want to breathe all that. In fact, I'm going to show you my dust collector, and I'm going to show you, I'm just getting ready to change my filter out. Hopefully you can see that way up there. See how dirty that is? My goodness. And you can see, so whenever I change my filter, I go through and I also try to wipe everything down. So it's been only probably about, let's just see here, probably only about, I say 2 to 4 weeks since I had that filter replaced, and so it's time for me to replace it again. So Anyways, there you are. Here's the wrench right now. Let's go through and do some wire wheeling here. So one more thing, I got the fan on low right now, but I'm going to wear my mask. And so if you don't have a mask, I mean, whenever you're dealing with this much rust that we're getting ready to fling in the air, as much as that thing will pick up, there's still going to be some right by you. You probably want to get this on. And then I'm also going to go through and put on my canvas apron. And so that's going to help as well. All right, let's get going. Enough preparation. Let's get after it. Okay, so as we can look at this, we got most of that junk off. We're going to go through and use our little Dremel, clean off a little bit more, and then we'll dump it in to the Evapo Rust. All right, so let's go through and see what we can do to make that happen here. We'll move over to our station just a little bit. You may have noticed, by the way, that I went through and changed up our little station here. So I got me a different grinder here. I haven't mounted it down yet. I'm going to cut me a piece of wood and mount it down to that. And then I moved our little post leg vise over here, and then that's where I've been doing a little bit of grinding, just trying to test it out, see if I like it or not. But anyways, let's go through and get this cleaned up here real quick. Okay, so this is what we got. So this is going to be what we're going to dunk into the ultrasonic cleaner real quick, just kind of wipe off as much crap as we can. And then we're going to put it in the Evapo Rust. So the next time you see me, we'll be digging it out of the Evapo Rust. All right, let's go from there. Okay, it is the next day, and we have been letting this set for an entire day. I got a couple other pieces in here, I think. But let's see here. So I'm just going to kind of dip it up and down just to make sure I got all the debris off. I just turned it off. I just turned the vibration portion off. I think I got an old bicycle wrench and a pair of pliers, but this is the part that we're after right here. So let me set this down for just a moment. Back in there. And then sucker's kind of hot a little bit, so let me rinse it off just a tad. Okay, so we got it out of the water here, and let's see what we have to work with here. So I'm going to go through and kind of get it all dried off here real quick. Man, that Evapo Rust really worked it good. Remember what it looked like before, right? And so, my goodness, that is just zero rust on it. Now, we may dip it in one more time just for a little bath after we get to wire wheeling it just a little. So let's go wire wheel it really quick, and let's just see what we're up against, okay? See how well it cleans up, see cosmetically, what does it look like, that sort of thing. and then go from there. All right, let's go do it. Okay, so this is what we are up against here. So you can tell just how pitted that is. Oh my goodness, it just breaks my heart. I don't even know what to say about that. All right, let's just keep on going. We still haven't decided. Do we leave it as is? I don't know. You guys kind of think about that for just a moment. Obviously, we're going to continue to progress throughout the video. We'll see. I have no clue at this point what we're going to do, but my goodness, that is just pitted badly there. All right, so here we are with it cleaned up a little bit inside. Man, that thing is rough in there. Check out what it did to my my tip. It just ground that wires right off of there. But anyways, that's what we're up against there. And then this side is about as clean as it's going to get. Oh my goodness, what do you guys think? I mean, it's pitted everywhere, everywhere. And this is those cut marks that you see right there. You see how we'd have to go down pretty far. I can't hardly stand it like this, but I can't hardly see taking it down, like in this area, taking it down so much. I wonder if we just take down some of it and just kind of make it so it's not so rough. So maybe that's the trick. I don't know. All right, think about it for just a moment. I'm going to think about it for a day and kind of see. I forgot to do this part right here. Let me do that real quick. All right. Well, as good as we're going to get it at this stage. My goodness, that is a shame. All right, let me think about it. Okay, I think I figured it out. I figured out what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to take it all the way down, but at least I want to take it a little bit down. I'm going to split the difference, try to get at least a little bit of some kind of polish on this bad boy. We're still going to be pitted. There's no doubt about that. But let's just see. Let's just see what we can pull off, all right? All right, so I got that. I'm getting ready to put on my PPE, and so I think that's going to be a good thing because I need to be able to breathe. So I'm going to put on my respirator, as you can see here, and then turn on my fan and go from there. So I'll play you some music, and here we go. Okay, we are back, as we can see here, and this is what we've done. So we kind of left a little bit of that pitting, and then we kind of polished up a little bit, and so this part's going to be covered anyways, but you can see from this what it's looking like. And so, oh my goodness, I like it better, I believe. I mean, I would like it if it was totally done, but I think it kind of gives it an old school feel, you know, kind of that rat rod feel, because look at that part right there. It is so pitted. By the time I take that down, we would leave that, lose all that definition that way. So now I'm going to put on my conditioning belt. This has been the one that is the actual sandpaper. So let's put on a conditioning belt, see if we can polish it up a little bit more. Okay, I thought I'd pause here for just a moment to show you what we have. You can't really see it too much in this light, but here's what we did. We did a combination. Hopefully you can see that. I was trying to use a conditioning belt. This is the medium, so I haven't done a fine yet on it. And so it's just trying to go through and just kind of take off those edges and trying to polish it up just a little bit, just to get it to kind of give it a little bit of look that we restored it, but it's still a little bit of that patina, that age look where it's been through wars in battles, because obviously you got the three marks here. Man, it done some battle somewhere, or somebody did some battle on it. And so, but here's my second thought. All right, so I think I got it here. Before I hit it with the fine, what do you think if I was going to blue this anyways. What do you think if we blew that? But I blew pretty much the whole thing, but then I polish it back up, and the only thing that's left is the bluing. You think that might be all right? I don't know. Let's go blue it. Let's go see. We can always take it off, I think, and then we can kind of go from there. All right, let me get set up. All right, so I got my bluing here, so we're going to go through and kind of get this soaking up just a little bit. And again, we're going to blue it, but we're not going to just totally turn it black. We're going to use it just as an accent. So let's just see how this goes as we go through and do it. And what I mean by that is, well, first of all, you know what I should have done is probably clean this off with a little bit of alcohol, but I forgot. Let's just see how it takes first. All right, well, it's taking all right anyways, but before I go too much further, let me go ahead and grab some alcohol and wipe it down real quick. All right, so here we are. We're going to wipe this bad boy down real quick here, get all that extra junk off of there. So, and I think because we're going to try to blue it here, I think this is the perfect stage to try to do it in, because we're going to try to use our fine conditioning belt to go through and give it a better look that way. So, all right, so we got that part. Now let's just see. I was going to do the inside of this anyways, just to kind of protect it here a little bit. And so we're going to do a little bit of here. I don't know how well that's going to take, but we're going to do it anyways. And see if we can bring some honor back to this beautiful, beautiful wrench. Now, the scales, I still haven't done anything about that, so that's a whole nother decision-making process in itself, and then a learning curve, because I never made any scales, period, let alone for this gorgeous wrench that we have here. So nevertheless, we're going to go through and try to figure it out, right? And so that's what we do around here. You see how it has some of this texture in here? We're just going to go ahead and just do all of that, because when we polish it back up, I think the goal is that how do we leave those dark spots? That's kind of the look I'm after, I think. And so if not, then we'll figure out how we're going to take it all back down and kind of go from there. But let's just see. So the reason why we're doing the whole thing is because we never know where those little nicks and crannies are, right? And so we want to go through and make sure we get all of them, so that way they pop. When we polish it out, they'll pop and kind of give it that old distressed look that we're after that way. And I'm so glad that we at least split the difference in, instead of just polishing it all out, we went through and just kind of give it a little bit of a cleaning and left a lot of that patina behind. I am very happy about that. So when I was reading the comments, I was noticing a few of them that said, hey, how about a walnut? How about maybe a particular type of wood? And that definitely is on my radar, although I have some other thoughts as well. So we're going to play around with that and see how that turns out. And it's almost taking it back to the old days of when this thing was laying in the water, apparently, because this thing is looking rough again. But that's okay. Sometimes we got to take it backwards to go forward, right? And so we're going to look at that and see what we can do. Okay, so we got our wrench. As we can see, we got a little bit of water down there, and then we got our steel wool. And so let's go through and dip it in there, get our steel wool wet, and then the next step for us is just to kind of wash off or neutralize this bluing aspect here, right? And so I'm going to get in here really well as well, and inside all of these areas. All right, so we are done with the bluing side, or the washing side. So let's go ahead and dry this off just a moment. Okay, so when we're looking at it here, I think we got probably it dried off here. It doesn't actually look bad just like this, does it? In fact, I kind of like it actually, but let's kind of take it to the next level. Let's see. This looks really good. By the time I put some oil on it, though, it's going to darken up just a little bit. And so, but we're going to want to go through and leave those spots darker. Let's just see. We can always blue it again and kind of go that route. But what do you think so far? My goodness. So that's what it looks like there. Well, let's go do our technique that we're talking about, and let's see if we can make it happen. All right, let's get the camera moved. Okay, we are done with that portion. So this is what it looks like now. It's kind of harder to see underneath this light, but as you can see, we left all the darkness there, and we kind of polished it up so it has kind of this combo look, especially with all this background. It's hard to see it, but I think that's kind of what we're going to stick with, I believe. And so now what we need to do is probably just finish it up maybe with a little bit of buffing, and then kind of go from there. So I got a brand new buffing wheel on this other machine that we got. Let's see if I can throw some compound on it and see what that looks like real quick, okay? Well, I got to tell you, that's an experience going through and having this thing for the first time start up. Look at all this crap. Man, made a mess. So I got to clean up my my station again. But nevertheless, so this is the beginning compound for us to go through and to get cleaned up. And so let's wipe it down. All right, so we got it wiped down a little bit. You can tell it really kind of taking out some of those scratches. Now we didn't go all crazy and try to make it all polished out or anything, and so this is what we have to work with. Let's use the finer one now. All right, so we got that one on there. You can tell it kind of polished it up even that much more. Starting to get a pretty chrome finish on that one. Let's go through and wipe this one down real quick. So this is what we're up against here. This is what we're looking like. And so, man, that's looking pretty nice, right? So I kind of liking that little dark finish, and then kind of go from there. We haven't thrown any oil inside here yet, so that could come up a little bit more. You can tell what that looks like right there, hopefully. And so, but anyways, okay, now we got this done. One thing we haven't done is looked at the little pins that were through here, and to see what we can do to straighten those out before we start building some scales. So let's try to do that real quick. Okay, so you might remember this is our kind of our template to some kind of loose degree, because it wasn't a snug fit. So we're going to retain that. But here's the pins, right? And so the pins, as you can see, they're kind of crooked and they're all messed up. But we're going to see if we can salvage these. So we'll see if we can pull this out and then go from there. All right, so let me get this out and then we'll get them straightened out. Okay, so let me show you where we're at now, and then let's kind of go from there. We got our wrench, obviously, that we have here, and this is more of that close-up view that's going to show up better underneath the light here. And so as we go through and look at that, and that cleaned up pretty nice, didn't it? And so I'm really happy with the way that turned out. It's not perfectly polished. We didn't take it all the way down, but I mean, it still left some of that patina still there. All right, this is what we had here, right? And so this is a piece that went inside. That's what it would look like. I thought I'd do something just a little bit different. And so there's all kinds of different ways that we could do this. Obviously, that's too loose. That's not going to work. Let's see if we can make this thing happen here. And so I thought, if I have enough here, did I get enough? Oh, I didn't get enough. So here's my thought. I have a couple blocks of a Purple Heart here. It looks like I'm going to have to cut it again. But here's the deal. I think I'm going to do some Purple Heart. And I think it's going to really step up and shine like crazy that way. So that's kind of my thought. What do you think? So now Purple Heart, if you're not familiar with it, it's an African wood. But what's even more amazing about it is that as you go through and you first put a finish on it, then it's really vibrant. And then as time goes on, it does darken up, which kind of gives us a little bit of that dark walnut feel. But I'm going to enjoy it while it's in the beginning stages. All right, so these blocks won't work, so I'm going to go and cut some blocks that are going to be taller, and then we're going to go through and see what we can do to build some handles. All right, I'll be back. Let me go cut some blocks. Okay, so I got some scales cut. So I think I got enough width here that I can play with, that you can see. And so we're going to use that, and that's going to be good. Now we're going to kind of halfway trace the profile here. So we know that it's going to come something like that, I believe, on this side. And then something like, I'll show you here in just a second because you probably can't see it. All right, so there you go. So I got a little bit of this side right here that we're going to try to go through and sand down, okay? So let's see what we can do to try to make some of that happen, and then go from there. Okay, I had to dig out my little belt sander on this stand here. So we're going to try to go through and put that beveled edge on it. So sorry about the noise, the fan is running for the dust collector. But let's see what we can do to kind of match some of the profile that we're seeing right there. So hopefully you can see that part. So we're going to try to match that part. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got the wrench cleaned up as you've already seen, and now we built some scales for it, some little handle. And so as we go through, man, that was a lot of work. Now I haven't shaped them at all. This was a lot of work just trying to get the angle on each end, and each side is a little bit different. So one side's longer than the other. So the next part that we're going to do is that we're actually going to drill some holes, and so that part's going to be there, and so we'll do that, and then we're going to epoxy it and drive the pins in it. And so that's kind of our goal. That's what we're looking at. But anyways, that's what it's looking like so far. The scales fit really well. I mean, I really worked hard, man. This is a lot of hours just in the handle portion of it there. But I think it's going to look really good, especially once we put some finish on it. All right, so let me go through and mark the area where we're going to do the holes. Okay, so just to give you an idea, I got the pins out of the evaporust, and this is what they look like here. So remember, they were all bent up and they were rusted up like crazy, so we're going to try to utilize this. And I would imagine that probably the longer one goes towards the back and the shorter one goes towards the front. Sorry, you can't see that very well. So we can scoot that back and kind of go this way. So that's what we're looking at now. So I'm going to do just a little bit of a wire brush on here just to kind of clean these up just a little bit, and then drill some holes and go from there. Okay, so we are back here. So we got the handle kind of clamped onto it, and so now we're getting ready to put the pins and the epoxy in it. So let me undo this real quick, give it just a little bit of relief from that, and then we're going to go through. We already cleaned it off, but of course, check that out, we had some more dust. Okay, so I think we pretty much are ready to rock and roll here. So just want to make sure I got my orientation correctly here. And so, yep, I think that one goes right there. And this one goes on this side. So, all right, so we got that. And so I'm going to lay this down, and then we're going to mix up some epoxy. Now, I don't do a lot of epoxy, so you have to bear with me here as we get going. So I'm going to mix it in here, throw some in here on both sides, and throw some on here, and then we're going to clamp it back together and see what we can do. So I'm going to use this clear weld, and so let me start mixing it up here, and let's just see what we can do. Now this is supposed to dry real clear as well, so we're going to put some. Let me try to put it on both sides of this wrench first, and let's see what we come up with here. Okay. All right, so I got enough in there, I think. Let's do the other side here. We got to work fast because we only got our 5 minutes worth of working time here. So now, let's see if we can put this one on. It should be in place, and then we're going to do this one, and that should be in place. And so we're going to squeeze it together. So get my little rag here so I can clean off some of this extra junk. All right, so now that we have that, then take my little clamp and let's see what we can do. Let's put that on there. All right, so we got that part in there now. So let's see if I can clean off a little bit more there. Oh, and you know what else we got to do here? I forgot all about this. We got to put in our pins. So I can't forget about that. So let me grab a hammer here real quick. Okay, and so we're going to split that difference there. And then we're going to do this one here. We're going to want to get this coated in there as well. Let's see. Okay, and that's coming out that other side. Epoxy's no fun, man, I gotta tell you. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna pull this back out if I can. Let's see here. Gotta grab me a pair of pliers. And the reason why I wanted to pull it back out is because I'm gonna put some of this epoxy in it. All right, so the pin is actually a little bit long on this one here. Probably I didn't make the handles as thick, so we're just going to have to do our modified version of this, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's just see what we come up with here, okay? All right, so I'm going to let that set up for just a moment. I'm going to grab a couple more clamps real quick. So, all right, so we got a couple clamps on it, a few clamps that are going to help us get down the road. Let's get that cleaned up. Let's get that done, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right. Okay, so I thought I'd kind of take a moment just to kind of show you. I got a rough sanding on here just to kind of try to form it up. You can see this side I haven't done anything with, and then the other side is going to be rounded like this. So I need to do some more work on it. But before I do this one, I need to come in here and do that, so I thought I'd see it. So the next time you see this, it's going to be completely finished. So let me get started on that. Okay, we are back. Wow, I got to tell you, this has been a project and a half. My goodness. On the scales alone, I spent the entire day just trying to fit the angle, fit the depth, and just trying to sand it down and trying to put a finish on it. And oh my goodness, this kicked my butt, I got to tell you. So it gives me a whole new appreciation for those guys back in the day when they were shaping these tools. Are you ready to see it? Well, I think you probably are, right? And so let me go ahead and show you the wrench. So this is what it looks like now. See if I can get in the picture here. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now, I went ahead and this wood is Purple Heart. In fact, I'll throw a picture in here with the light on it, but you can tell, oh my goodness, it just feels so good in the hand. We blued this, so try to highlight that up a little bit. Remember this part? Had all that pitting on there. Man, it gave it so much character. So on this side, I believe it says, yeah, the HD Smith Company. And so, yeah, the HD Smith and Company. And so, my goodness, look at that. That is a thing of beauty, is it not? And so this side over here, let's see here. This is the side that has the perfect handle on it. Not as much pitting, but you know, again, it just gives it so much character. Look at that. Now, here's the handle on this side. And so I went through and I try to shape it as good as I can. And all of this is filled in all the way. It's smooth as all get out. A little bit of darkness there because I had to mix up some of the dust and a little bit of glue and kind of fill it in, barely just in a couple different spots. Oh my goodness. Again, I love this thing. This thing is like one of the best projects that I've done in the shop. I love it, love it, love it. One, I've never seen one in person. Two, to be able just to bring it back. Now, I know one of the subjects was, what kind of handles do we do? I chose Purple Heart. And, you know, I'm just in love with Purple Heart. It kind of has a little bit of that darkness to it, just like a walnut would be. But to me, you know what? This just stands out. This is just beautiful. Again, I'll throw a picture in there. So this will be hopefully the second picture. But anyways, what do you guys think? Did we do it on her? Did we find a happy medium? Because some said just hang it on the wall. and some said totally grind it down and totally refinish it. Well, I kind of feel like I kind of hit the nail on the head on both counts. I kind of refinished it a little bit, and I kind of left it a little bit. Oh my goodness, I love it. In fact, that pitting that's on here, the more I look at it, the more in love I am. I'm glad we blued that, by the way, because it kind of gave it just a little bit of a glimmer, a glistening on there of that black. Love it, love it, love it. So put down in the comments what you think. Tell me if we did good, did bad, if you hate it, love it, whatever you want to say. I know this could be a very controversial subject here, so put it down in the comments. We'd love to hear it either way. And so kind of go from there. If it's your first time here, join the fun. This is what we're doing. We're out there hunting. We're finding tools like this. And man, this thing weighs a lot, by the way. We're finding tools like this and we're bringing them back to life. We're building an actual collection of different brands. And so make sure you hit subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification if you want to get notified when our next video comes up. And until next time, we'll see you on the next video.